been thinking with isolation and a lot of people not being able to get out to the clubs and pubs because obviously they're shut, which is really unfortunate. I just thought, well, we might just do 3 simple sauces that you can actually do at home for when you're cooking that steak or the chicken on the barbecue. So we're going to focus on 3 traditional sauces, which is a Diane, the pepper, and we'll do a mushroom sauce. So that's what our focus is with this one. I also just want to do a big thank you to everybody we actually got 100 subscribers the other day on the YouTube channel. So loving the support, it's great, and it's good to see some people getting out there and trying some of these meals we're doing. I also want to thank one of my youngest subscribers and a real good support. He's been sending photos of his pork crackling, and that's Lucas Olive. So thank you, mate, for all of your support there. Loving hearing what you're up to and cooking in the kitchen. You're second, mate. That's all good. All right, we'll get started on the 3 sauces. Let's go. Cut the white section of the spring onions for the actual making of the sauce, and then diagonally use these for garnish just before serving in the sauce. Finally crush 1 clove of garlic. Always check your sauce consistency by running over the back of the spoon. If it coats the back of the spoon, then it's ready. Alright, let's get into the mushroom sauce, cream of mushroom sauce I want to make up. I'm trying to keep the sauces fairly simple, okay, so you can make them at home, hence why we're using the gravy mix rather than the traditional demi-glace or julienne. So what I've got here is really basically, obviously, the mushroom for the mushroom sauce. You can use either the portobellos or the large field mushroom like this, or you can get buttered mushrooms for the different types of mushrooms you can use. I'm going to actually use a eschalot here. My mate Pat Barling grew these at home, so I'm going to use these for this sauce, or you can use half an onion if you don't have them. They're just a lot sweeter, the onions. 1 garlic clove, bit of salt and pepper. I've gone a little bit more butter this time compared to the steak Diane sauce. This is 60 grams of the French butter. So make sure you get the salted one, it gives a lot more flavour. We've also got the cream, 130 mils of cream here, and we've got about 100 mils of white wine here as well. Sauv Blanc, or it's up to you if you want to use brandy. You can always use half the ingredients to make it sweeter, or use a Chardonnay. And here's just the mix, the gravy mix with 250 mils of warm water just to dilute it. So let's get into it, let's make this sauce up really quickly. Okay, with the large field mushrooms, I always just take the skin off, just to remove it. It becomes a little bit leathery through the sauce. You can actually just get the knife and bring it back. All right, so I'm just going to cut these up. So generally I just in half, and then we just come through, okay, like this. And it's up to you if you want a chunky mushroom sauce, or you can run back through these if you want a little bit finer. All right, thanks Pat for these echalons. So I'm just going to just top and tail them. They're just a really smaller variety of the onion, and like I said, a lot sweeter. So I'm just going to peel these really quickly. Just cut the echalons in half, and just a nice slice. Okay, that's just going to go over into the bowl here, and we're just going to crush the garlic up to go in with the echalons. just remember the salt just holds it together once again, absorbs all that moisture, and also preserves it if you want to keep it in the fridge tomorrow or next week. So that's on a medium heat. Obviously the salts in the butter will burn very quickly because of the French style of butter. So always keep stirring it around. Right, so we're going to add the garlic, the eschalots. We're just going to sweat these off a little bit. And sweating means just to cook them without colour. You don't want any colour there. In go the mushrooms. There's not much room left in the pan now. We're just going to cook these off, soften them up a bit. Okay, so we're going to now add the white wine. The mushrooms are softened. That's what we're after. So white wine now goes in, or brandy if you want, just half the brandy amount. And then we're just going to now reduce that down by about 2/3. So remember, leave the spoon on the side there. While we're waiting for the white wine to reduce, I just want to thank one of my ex-students, Jason Chiffatelli. I said I'd mention your name, mate. Thank you for this knife, buddy, you gave me a while ago, a really good quality F-Dick knife. Thank you, sir, mate. That's a good idea for any other students thinking of birthday and Christmas presents. Come on, bring it on. Just going to add the cream now. White wine's reduced by about 2/3. Now just be careful reducing the cream. You don't want to boil it because it will curdle. You want to just get a nice simmer. Just make sure whenever you're doing sauces, soups, stews, never leave your spoon in your actual sauce or the actual product you're cooking, because you'll actually start to get a bit of a wood timber flavour through it. So always have it over here, away from the heat. Unless you're a lumberjack and you love the taste of wood, then definitely put it in there. Just get you to come in close and have a look at the colour of that cream. It's starting to get a bit of a grey tinge. That's just telling me that the gills of the mushroom, the brown colouring is actually going through the cream. If you wanted to, you could actually just make a real creamy mushroom sauce and leave the gravy mix or your demi-glace base out and just do a basic cream sauce. There's nothing wrong with that. You just have to add more cream and reduce it down as you go. We're going to now add the gravy mix. Okay. Right. So we're just going to bring this now to a simmer. Right, so just remember, if you want to check your sauce consistency, always check if it coats the back of the spoon. That's what you're after, because it's going to coat the product. Okay, so always make sure you season your sauces. Always check them. Don't double dip and do your little fingery thing in the sauce. Just grab a teaspoon. It doesn't take much. Okay. Test it. A little bit of salt and pepper. Whether black pepper or white pepper, that is up to you. I'm just going to put a little bit more in there. You don't need much because of the natural salt in the wine and the mushroom. So there we go, that's ready to go. There's your mushroom sauce. Come on in. And if only you had smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision. Wow. Let's get some good jams happening for this next sauces video. I've just got to try and pair this. Can't be too hard. Far out. Zach and Jack, can you come and give me a hand now to pair this speaker with my Bluetooth and my phone? I've got the speaker, I've got the pairing knife and the phone. It's just not working. Alright, so with the pepper sauce, there's a few different ways you can do it with the actual peppercorns. These ones here, I've actually soaked in water overnight. I just brought it to a simmer and then soaked them overnight so they soften up. They're the whole peppercorns. And then you can also use the dried peppercorns, and then you can just basically smash them out so they're actually cracked. If you want a more cracked style of peppercorns. So just break the peppercorns down like so. If you would rather like a cracked style peppercorn, that is up to you. Alright, so with this pepper sauce, I'm going to change it around a bit. In the other two sauces, I've used like a convenience gravy mix or a Gravox style as a base. That's just to simplify things for you when you're actually making this sauce. Now, I had Tony, one of my ex-students, go, why don't you actually do the reduction sauces like you taught us in class? So good call, Tony. We're going to get rid of this gravy mix, converting product. We're going to actually use a reduction style. So I'm going to use this beef stock. I've been simmering for 8 hours into the sauce. It'll make a big difference, mate. What are you doing? Okay. Anyway, shoot. Right, so what we're going to do, I've got a ribeye here. It's been sitting out for about 20 minutes. You always have to do your steaks at room temperature. Okay, if you pull them straight out of the fridge, your pan cools down straight away. So ribeye's there, ready. A little bit of salt and pepper, both sides. Pan's heating up there. And we're just going to turn that over, a little bit more salt and pepper on the outside. Just going to put a little bit of oil into the pan. Now this is a reduction sauce, so we really want the juices from the steak, the caramelised juices from the steak, to actually give our pepper sauce that flavour. So that's the concept of this. So a little bit of oil in there, we're going to heat that up, cook the steak, and then we're going to finish the pepper sauce off through using the flavours of the actual beef. Alright, so the pan's hot enough now, we're going to sear the steak. I'm after a medium rare, so we're just going to basically sear at one side. The thing that people do so many times is just keep turning the steak. It's going to toughen it up. You just want to seal the juices in, okay? And I'll actually do the next segment I'm going to do on making steaks to perfection. So I want to get a little bit of colour here. I'm using a pan just so we can then finish off the sauce as we're going. So we've just got a bit of heat there. Alright, so we've turned the steak over only once at the moment. A good rule of thumb, you actually use your hand as a good thing to tell you the degree of doneness. So if you do this, that's rare, medium well done. It's a great idea to get a bit of a feel on what you're looking at for your steak when you actually want to check the temperature and the degree of doneness. Alright, so we're still cooking this off. I'm going to go up to medium rare. I'm going to turn it one more time. And then we'll wait for the blood to rise to the surface, and I know it's ready and we're going to then rest it. Alright, so ready to go. I'm just going to pull the steak off here. Just let it rest while I finish this sauce off. You can actually you can see the blood started to come to the surface, so I've turned it once. That's medium rare. You can cover it with foil if you like, but I'm going to finish this sauce really quickly. You can see the caramelised juices. Let's now get the butter in there ready to go. We're going to then add the echallots and the garlic. So you can see those colours there will give our sauce a nice brown colouring. Echallots, once again, thanks Pat Barling, you're a legend. A little bit of garlic. Okay, we just need to cook these off. Now I'm going to add the peppercorns. These are the softened ones that I cooked in the water for just about 10 to 15 minutes and then let them sit overnight. They're just soft now, so they're not going to be hard. Okay, we're now going to go to brandy. Bit of flambe there, beautiful. No issues cooking the alcohol out. Now as we're going to add the beef stock. Mr. Seeley, this is for you, a little bit of beef stock here. And we're going to turn that heat right up and reduce that by about 2/3. You can see the colours there. The peppercorns will soften up and then we'll get back to you shortly. Alright, so that's reduced down by 2/3 by now. So all the alcohol is cooked down. I'm now going to add the cream, if you come in a little bit closer. So you can see obviously how low it's gone. Just going to add the cream. Just going to turn it down a fraction now. We don't want to curdle the cream. If you boil cream, it's going to split. And the big thing I want to show you is, obviously with your steaks, that's been resting now, so you get a lot of this residue, which is all flavour. You just always pop that in to your sauce. The steak can sit there for another minute or so, and then we're ready to serve. So that's going to take about another 2 or 3 minutes to reduce down to your pepper sauce. Then we're going to serve that up. Just coming through a bit more. You can see the bubbles start to get a little bit larger, and that tells me it's starting to thicken up. So I'm going to go a little bit of salt and pepper through there, like that. And we're going to stir that through, and we're going to serve that now. to use a beef stock that has been simmering for about, the beef stock here I've been reducing for about 8 hours. My God. I've actually been reducing a beef stock for you for about 8 hours.
I can't see him.
Oh my God. You come in there, walk right in there. Walk in here and go.
You need to work out.
Here, like this.
Work out.
Can you practice it? Let's try it. We're going to be, don't do that silly face, otherwise we're going to redo it. So what we're going to do, Tony, for you, after that question, is we're not going to use the gravy. I've been reducing a beef stock for about 8 hours at the moment, and we're going to use that for this. Is he coming again? Bit of Worcester there, a little bit of flambe.